Tommy Sheridan, why should people vote for Solidarity?
If people believe, Bernard, in an Indy Ref 2, if they believe that independence is still on the agenda and they want an Indy Ref 2 bill by 2018, which is what we're going to introduce, then they should vote for Solidarity. If they want to defy austerity instead of passing on the Westminster cuts, they should vote for Solidarity. If they want to abolish the council tax and replace it with an income-based alternative that's radical and redistributive, they should vote for Solidarity. If they want to be against fracking and for unilateral nuclear disarmament, they should vote for Solidarity.
What would you say to somebody who would say, that sounds a bold, left-wing programme, it also puts Indy Ref 2 right at the top, but, you know, Tommy Sheridan last year was urging people to vote for the SNP. I gather you're going to be voting for the SNP in your constituency vote. This is a party which hasn't made an unambiguous commitment to Indy Ref 2, and many socialists would argue is not a socialist party, but believes in managerialism and managing capitalism. Why do you give the SNP a leg up all the time?
I think you would have to hod the front page, Bernard, if you're suggesting the SNP isn't a socialist party. Of course they're not a socialist party, but they're the biggest pro-independence party that we have in Scotland. We in Solidarity believe...
But why would you vote for a party that's not a socialist party?
Breaking away from Westminster is the priority for the working class of Scotland. We have to get rid of Westminster. We have to break away from that monster that's imposing austerity, cut after cut, while the leaders of Westminster are squirreling away their money in tax havens. We've got to say loud and clear, Westminster is finished, and the vote for SNP is to have an independent government in Holyrood. However, the Yes family in Scotland, Bernard's got to say to themselves, the second vote will not count if you give it to the SNP. Give it to another pro-Indy party like Solidarity.
But you are going to give them your first vote.
Absolutely.
And in giving them your first vote, you are voting for a party that ain't socialist. Surely the job of a socialist is to bring people behind a socialist programme, not to vote for a party that, as you've just said, ain't socialist.
We in Solidarity, Bernard, are simply not big enough yet to stand in the constituency seats. We would divide the Yes vote. We are saying loud and clear that the Yes family, which is primarily working class, primarily left of centre, primarily young, we're saying that the left family should say we're voting for independence by giving SNP a first vote, but we're also voting for radical redistribution by giving Solidarity the second vote.
Why not Rise with the second vote?
Absolutely.
Why not Green with the second vote?
Absolutely. If I was being asked, as I have done several times in the hustings...
If you keep saying to people, yeah, Rise is okay and Green's okay, you ain't going to get in.
Well, I'm not sure about that, Bernard. An election's a bit like a menu, isn't it? And you go into the restaurant and you get lots of foods that you might like, but you've got to choose one. I think that the Yes family have to be educated here because the voting system is complicated. They must know, they must learn that the second vote for SNP is wasted because they're going to win so many of the first past the post seats. Now, the SNP leadership are in a difficult cleft stick here because they can't turn around and say, don't bother giving us your second vote, because then people like you would say, that's arrogance, how can you say that, you're being overconfident. But the truth is, the second vote for SNP is wasted. All it will do is help the Unionist Party. So I have to say at this point, I'm arguing, please, Yes family, give us your second vote. Give Solidarity a second vote. But see, if you're not going to give it to Solidarity, you don't like Tommy Sheridan, you don't like Solidarity, don't waste it by giving it to SNP. Give it to one of the other pro-independence parties. So I'm easily saying, put the cause of independence before the narrow interests of political parties.
What would you say to somebody that the reason why that people have a choice because the left is split, and one of the reasons that the left is split is because you are a divisive character, that you have helped split the left, and that you have done nothing to boost the credibility of the left by your own conduct, which ended up in a jail sentence?
Well, quite frankly, Bernard, it was raining today, and there's no doubt there are some people out there who will blame me for that, because I tend to get blamed for lots of things. The truth of the matter is, we have a choice. There are several choices that are pro-independence choices. Anti-austerity, and pro-independence. Ourselves and Rise and the Greens are all pro-independence. We're all anti-austerity. We're the only ones that are anti the European Union. The European Union, as far as we're concerned, is a big business club.
Okay.
We don't want the European Union. We're going to be voting to withdraw from the European Union.
Okay.
But my final point is here in this part is to say, if you're not giving us your second vote, give it to one of the other pro-indie
Okay,
parties.
Tommy Sheridan, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.